Tonight on the Fox 42 News at 9.
A disabled veteran robbed.
They must have been watching the house and waited for us to leave.
He put an ad up on Craigslist, but you won't believe what the bad guys got away with and how he says they did it. The clues investigators have to go on.
96 in Omaha today, a scorcher, but if you thought that was hot, just wait to see what we're in for the rest of the week.
Well, it's been a confusing day for some drivers here in La Vista. I'm Steve Saunders. A major intersection now closed. We'll have all the details on the detours.
An out-of-control driver slams into a gas pump, and the station owner says this is not the first time this has happened. What police say the driver was doing at the time.
Those stories and more right now.
From Omaha's only hour of primetime news, this is the Fox 42 News at 9.
Came in, grabbed it, pulled it out to the alley, hooked it up, and drove away.
Bad guys target a man who served his country, what they got away with, and how they even found out what he had. The warning police have for you tonight. A disabled vet is the latest victim of a Craigslist sale gone bad.
It keeps happening. Is there any way to stop it? Fox 42's Winnie Dortch met up with a vet to investigate how this could happen. Winnie, he was trying to sell a boat.
Days after posting the boat for sale on Craigslist, he says someone snatched it out of his backyard. Now he says he wishes he never made the post in the first place.
I put it up for sale on Craigslist, and next thing I know, it's gone.
A Craigslist sale gone bad.
Small town, easy to find it. It didn't have my address, but it had the town.
Jim Mather was hoping to sell this boat for $2,000, but now it's gone.
It's horrible. I mean, you know, we work real hard.
He says someone stole his boat from his yard last Tuesday. He lives in Prague, Nebraska.
They came in, grabbed it, pulled it out to the alley, hooked it up, and drove away. They must have been watching the house and waited for us to leave.
You can still see the tracks from the tires.
We build boats and stuff for hobbies, and that was one that we'd finished. We used some of the money that we got from the inheritance from my dad to invest in this, to start doing this. So we've lost all that too.
Mather says he wishes he didn't list the town.
Yeah, this is a lesson. Beware of Craigslist, beware of how you sell things, because there are people out there that are less than honest.
Mather also tells me that if you plan to sell anything on Craigslist, especially a big item like his boat, make sure you don't put a specific time or area. He says to ask the buyer to send in more information in an email to talk about how they can meet up. Back to you.
All right, Winnie. Well, experts say there are other red flags you should be aware of. If you can't verify a phone number, skip the sale. If a price looks too good to be true, it probably is. Be leery of pictures unless you're buying from a retailer. A lot of those are not really what's for sale, and you should never buy something unless it's in a public place. Many police departments are setting up areas outside of precincts as safe spaces to buy and sell.
Well, it was a hot one today, no doubt about it. Omaha topped out at 96, Tacoma 93, Atlantic 91, Shenandoah 90, Nebraska City 90, Lincoln 93, and Norfolk at 93 as well. And if you think today was hot, just wait a couple of days. It's coming. Here it is. Excessive heat watch goes into effect for all of the area, including the metro, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. This excessive heat watch is in place, with feels like temperatures expected to be between 105 and as high as 115. So get ready for some high heat across the metro. Right now we're 85 degrees, mostly clear. Southeast wind at 13 miles an hour. That's 61% relative humidity, though, makes that 85 feel like 89 degrees. Stick around. We'll have tomorrow's day planner coming up.
A busy intersection in Sarpy County will now be closed for months, and that's forcing drivers to rethink their routes. Fox 42's Steve Saunders spoke to drivers on day one of that closure. Many of them said they got confused just trying to get through a detour.
Road crews closed the intersection at 132nd and Giles in the morning hours. Take a look. There are signs around me telling drivers that the roadway is closed, but we found out from those same drivers that the warnings didn't come soon enough. Cars and trucks have been just turning around all day long.
I'm just driving around in circles right now.
On Monday morning, the intersection at 132nd and Giles Road closed to drivers. Officials say it will stay closed until at least late October. For delivery driver Darren Robertson, time is money.
I have customers off that way, and I'm going to try to find a way around now.
The Public Works Department says it's making the intersection bigger to make it easier for big trucks to pass through. The department posted this detour map. The lines in green show you how to get around the intersection. Harrison Street, Route 50, and Cornhusker Road are all part of the detour. I started at the Yellow Star on West Giles Road, and I wanted to end at the Orange Star on 132nd Street. The detour had me heading east on West Giles Road, and then I took a left onto Giles, and then another left onto Harrison, and a final left onto South 132nd Street. It took me about 5 minutes.
This is an inconvenience because this is the faster way to go, but usually, the only other way is to go on 370.
I did speak to an official at the Public Works Department. He said if you do happen to work for a business within the blocked off area, road crews will allow you to get through. In La Vista, Steve Saunders, Fox 42 News.
The Public Works Department did say the changes are just to help with traffic flow and are not because of an increase in accidents. It says a set of traffic signals will also be installed. They'll replace the existing stop signs. And the days of running into red lights on Dodge Street just about over. It's all part of a project to make it easier for the morning and afternoon commute. Omaha city leaders are now making it so you'll hit green lights for 30 blocks. The system will use special sensors. City leaders say the plan has been in the works since 2011. It'll cost $700,000, with the federal government picking up most of that cost.
A motorcyclist is dead after a crash in West Omaha. Witnesses say that's despite people trying to save his life. Investigators say 40-year-old Brian Molbach was speeding. They say he lost control and was thrown from the bike. It happened just before 1:30 this afternoon. Several people tried to perform CPR on Molbach. He was rushed to the hospital where he died. What caused a semi to crash and catch fire on the I-80? That's the question investigators in Iowa are now trying to answer. This is viewer video sent to us by Alan Bradburn. The semi caught fire between the cities of Avoca and Walnut around 3:30 a.m. The semi was carrying lumber. It took hours to clean up the mess. It caused a massive traffic backup for hours. Luckily, no one was hurt. And that wasn't the only fiery crash involving a semi today. Take a look at this video. This one happening just this afternoon outside Kansas City. It involved a semi, a tow truck, and 2 cars. At least 1 person was badly hurt. I-435 was shut down for a few hours. It has since reopened. The cause of this crash remains under investigation.
The Council Bluffs couple is now spending $350,000. It's to show their support for first responders. They're paying for 4 bronze statues to be built along West Broadway. It'll show a police officer, a police dog, and a firefighter saving a child. The statues will also show a Pottawatomie County Sheriff's deputy and an Iowa State Trooper.
I want this to be a family place, and we were insistent with the city that this not be a memorial. This is for the here and now, and it's a thank you.
The plaza is expected to be completed and fully installed by the end of September. That work is being done by a local artist. The couple says the idea came about after Omaha police officer Kerry Orozco was shot and killed in 2015. And it's been 3 weeks since a man was found dead in a Ralston garage. Now police say they've found his killer. Investigators say 32-year-old Dustin Salisbury hit Jesse Domingo with his car. This happened back June 21st. Officers say Salisbury and Domingo got into a fight. They say the crash sent Domingo 60 feet into the air and into a nearby garage. Domingo's body was found several hours later. Salisbury is now charged with murder as well as other charges.
100 years. That's how long an Omaha man convicted of raping a teen and forcing her to have into sex trafficking will spend in prison. Anthony Swindle was sentenced today. He was found guilty earlier this year. Swindle offered the teen a ride home in 2015, and that's when he raped the girl and then forced her to work as a prostitute. The jury took 90 minutes to convict him. Now, some Middle Eastern women in eastern Iowa are now learning to protect themselves from attacks. The women are attending a free self-defense class in Iowa City. The class is geared toward Muslim women. Instructors teach the students Taekwondo. They say the lessons don't incite fear, but empower women of all ages and backgrounds.
Small joint manipulation. That's how you get away from someone grabbing your hair or your hijab. It's that simple.
Because if you got to anything like that, you know actually how to take care of yourself.
Each lesson lasts for 45 minutes. Classes are offered once or twice a month.
Normally, it's politicians sparking problems in Washington. Now, a radio station is causing some controversy, not only for its message, but for where it's located. Drama behind 105.5, that's at 9:27.
Thrown into the middle of a street, police say a boy is truly lucky to be alive. Wait till you hear who investigators say did it and how that boy is doing tonight.
But first, it's the biggest bike ride in Iowa, and preparing for it can take a lot. Tell you how the experts say you should get ready for a RAGBRAI and where it'll be happening this year. Next. More than 2,000 firefighters are now trying to put out a massive wildfire burning in central California. At least 45,000 acres have been burned, 8 buildings destroyed.
And firefighters say they are having a tough time trying to get control of this wildfire. Fox 42 weather forecaster Alex Laynard is actually helping cover the wildfire near Yosemite National Park tonight. And Alex, hundreds of people have been evacuated, right?
Right, a lot of areas evacuated surrounding this fire that started on Sunday and, as mentioned, has burned more than 45,000 acres. It is spreading at an alarming rate. Firefighters say right now it's only 7% contained, so obvious sign that they have very little containment. You can see just behind me sweltering hillsides here. This fire is burning really quickly. It's only it's more than 45,000 acres. There are several thousands of homes that are evacuated right now. We have got a lot of evacuations in this area, communities to the south and the north, because this fire is spreading so quickly. Firefighters say their main concern today is that this fire is spreading south. We're dealing with really high temperatures here, very low humidity, and a lot of this light, flashy fuel, this tall grass that's just burning really quickly. However, fire is also spreading to the north. We were actually just about 30 miles north of Mariposa in the town of Coulterville, and that area is starting to see a lot of fire activity as well, a new fire activity as of today that this fire is continuing to grow. Also spoke with the spokesman from Yosemite, which is about 30 miles away. He says that the park is okay right now, just a little bit smoky at this time as this fire continues to spread. More than 2,000 firefighters are out here fighting this fire, and more are continuing to come in from all across the state because this fire is growing so rapidly. Again, their concern is that this fire is going to continue to spread south because of the way that the wind is moving. Gusty wind throughout the afternoon, very smoky in this area, a lot of activity from firefighters, but again, very little activity from people because there have been so many evacuations. Some people continuing to be evacuated as this fire does continue to spread, but it is moving very, very quickly, and firefighters are having a tough time getting a handle on it because it is so hot, so dry out here, and very windy as well. They anticipate more growth overnight tonight and hopefully a little more containment when this sun does go down to give these firefighters a little bit of reprieve. But again, burning very quickly in Mariposa County. For Fox 42 KPTM, I'm Alex Laynard.
All right, Alex. Well, smoke from this fire can be seen as far away as Boise, Idaho. Firefighters hope to have the fire under control by July 20th.
The fire burning near California's Yosemite National Park has now forced thousands of people from their homes.
Take a look at the fire from space. The so-called Detweiler fire is now 70,000 acres. That's roughly 109 square miles. That fire is only 24 miles away from the park right there. Fox 42 weather forecaster Alex Laynard is helping cover the wildfire for our sister station in Fresno.
The little church in the hill is just one of the 45 structures that have now been destroyed by the Detweiler fire. This fire continues to rage out of control, burning at now more than 70,000 acres. There are more than 3,000 firefighters that are trying to protect structures just like this. Unfortunately, this fire is moving so quickly and its direction continues to change. Today, what firefighters are looking at is a firefight that's pushing them north. The winds have shifted out of the south and are moving these flames north. More communities are being evacuated as more firefighters are being called to this firefight. There are now more than 3,000 here as of yesterday. There were a little more than 2,000. That number continues to change. If you see the hillside just behind me, completely charred. This fire came raging through here yesterday. But again, more than 70,000 acres have burned in the Detweiler fire here in Mariposa County. I'm Alex Laynard.
More than 3,000 firefighters are helping put out that fire. As Alex said, power remains out to thousands of people in the area due to fire damage, but the local power company cut power to certain areas for the protection of firefighters.